aerobic and anaerobic respiration, exercise and metabolism. Every single cell in your body needs energy to survive. This energy is used for everything your body does, including movement, growth, repair, and even thinking. The process that provides this energy is called respiration. Respiration is not the same as breathing. Breathing is simply moving air in and out of the lungs. Respiration is a chemical process that happens inside cells. It releases energy from glucose so the cell can function. This process is controlled by enzymes. Enzymes speed up the chemical reactions involved in respiration and make sure they happen at the right speed and under safe conditions. Respiration happens all the time in every cell of your body. It is an exothermic process, which means it releases energy. Aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration is the most efficient way for cells to release energy from glucose. It requires oxygen. In this process, glucose reacts with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. A large amount of energy is released. The word equation is glucose plus oxygen produces carbon dioxide and water. This process mainly takes place in the mitochondria inside cells. The key idea to remember is that aerobic respiration gives a large amount of energy and is the preferred method used by the body when oxygen is available. Anaerobic respiration. Sometimes the body cannot supply enough oxygen, especially during intense exercise. In this case, cells switch to anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration does not use oxygen. It releases only a small amount of energy compared to aerobic respiration. In human muscles, anaerobic respiration produces lactic acid. The buildup of lactic acid causes pain and fatigue in muscles. In plants and yeast, anaerobic respiration produces ethanol and carbon dioxide. This process is called fermentation. The word equation for fermentation is glucose produces ethanol and carbon dioxide. Fermentation is used in industry to make bread and alcoholic drinks. Carbon dioxide makes bread rise, and ethanol produces alcohol in drinks. Comparing aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration uses oxygen and produces a large amount of energy. Anaerobic respiration does not use oxygen and produces much less energy. Aerobic respiration produces carbon dioxide and water. Anaerobic respiration produces lactic acid in animals, or ethanol and carbon dioxide in plants and yeast. Exercise and energy demand. When you exercise, your muscles need more energy. This means the rate of respiration must increase. To supply more oxygen and glucose to the muscles, the body makes several changes. Breathing rate increases, so more oxygen enters the lungs. Breath volume increases, so each breath brings in more air. Heart rate increases, so blood moves faster around the body. This allows more oxygen and glucose to reach the muscles and more carbon dioxide to be removed. Anaerobic respiration during exercise. During very intense exercise, the body cannot supply oxygen fast enough. Muscles begin to respire anaerobically. This causes lactic acid to build up. Lactic acid lowers the pH of muscle cells and causes pain and fatigue. Oxygen debt and recovery. After exercise stops, the body still needs extra oxygen. This is called oxygen debt. The extra oxygen is used to break down lactic acid and restore the body to normal conditions. During this recovery period, breathing rate and heart rate remain high until the oxygen debt is repaid. Measuring heart rate and breathing rate. Heart rate can be measured by taking a pulse. This is usually done at the wrist or neck. Breathing rate can be measured by counting the number of breaths per minute. As exercise intensity increases, both heart rate and breathing rate increase. This shows how the body responds to higher energy demands. Metabolism. Metabolism is the sum of all the chemical reactions that happen in the body. Some reactions build larger molecules from smaller ones. These reactions require energy. For example, glucose molecules can be joined together to form storage molecules. Amino acids are joined together to form proteins. Other reactions break down large molecules into smaller ones. These reactions release energy. For example, glucose is broken down during respiration to release energy. Metabolism depends on enzymes and energy from respiration. Without these, the body cannot function. Key learning tip. Do not try to memorize this topic as separate facts. Think of it as one system. Food provides glucose. Respiration releases energy. Energy powers metabolism. Metabolism builds and repairs the body. Once you see this link, the topic becomes much easier. Question and answer section. Question. What is respiration? Respiration is the process of releasing energy from glucose in cells. Question. What is aerobic respiration? It is respiration that uses oxygen and releases a large amount of energy. Question. Where does aerobic respiration mainly take place? In the mitochondria. Question. What is anaerobic respiration? It is respiration without oxygen that releases a small amount of energy. Question. What does anaerobic respiration produce in human muscles? Lactic acid. Question. What is fermentation? Fermentation is anaerobic respiration in yeast that produces ethanol and carbon dioxide. Question. Why does heart rate increase during exercise? To pump more oxygen and glucose to the muscles. Question. What is oxygen debt? It is the extra oxygen needed after exercise to remove lactic acid. Question: what is metabolism? Metabolism is the sum of all chemical reactions in the body. Question: what is the role of enzymes in respiration? Enzymes control and speed up the reactions involved in respiration.